Hello and welcome back to Awful Full Sports. I'm your host, John McCoast, and today we'll be going over our predictions for the top 10 picks of the 2018 NHL Entry Draft. For more, let me send you live to our insider from Dallas. Take it away, John.
Thanks, John. So the Buffalo Sabres are the lucky team with the first overall selection, and that pick's a no-brainer. They're going to take Rasmus Dahlin. He's in a class of his own. It's going to be one of the best defensemen in the league for many years to come. But it's not only his on-ice skills that make him so desirable, it's his coaching and management skills. And that'll fit in really well with future teammate, coach, and general manager Jack Eichel. And with the second overall selection, we have the Carolina Hurricanes, who moved up more than any other team in the draft lottery. Now, this is a team that many pundits believe could make the playoffs last season, and one could argue that subpar goaltending did them in. Now, there's no goaltenders expected to go this early, so taking one now would be a bit of a reach. So instead, they'll take the next most talented player, Andrei Svechnikov, and they'll use him in net. And sometimes, you have to go the unorthodox way to have success. And at number 3, we have the Montreal Canadiens, who are coming off a very disappointing season, and many would say their biggest team needs are at center and at defense, and you can't address both of those with just one pick, especially when it's a winger expected to go here. So instead, we believe that they will trade the pick to the Tampa Bay Lightning in exchange for Ryan McDonagh. Then, they will bring Scott Gomez out of retirement and have him play first-line center. Then Montreal Canadian fans can say with a smile, asset management. Tampa Bay will then select Philip Zadina. Now this is where the draft gets really interesting, because the Ottawa Senators have a deal with Colorado to send over either this year's first-round pick or next year's first-round pick as part of the Matt Duchene deal. Now, many believe they will keep this pick and send over next year's, but we believe the opposite, that they will send over this year's first-round pick, but Colorado will then send it back to Ottawa in exchange for Matt Duchene. Colorado is now a playoff team, and they could use the extra help to bring them up to par with the likes of the Nashville Predators and Winnipeg Jets. As for Ottawa, they will then use the pick on Brady Tkachuk, who will then demand a trade to the Colorado Avalanche. Then at number 5, we have the Arizona Coyotes, who will use the pick to select Evan Bouchard. Why? Because he has good analytics, and that's all that matters in life. Then at number 6, we have the Detroit Red Wings, who are at the end of an era. This team is used to having world-class leaders, but Henrik Zetterberg isn't getting any younger, so they're going to need to find someone to replace him. And that's why they're going to select Matt Phillip. Now, he hasn't put up the same amount of points as some of his counterparts, but he brings great attitude and personality. He's had some of the best coaches in the business to show him how to play the right way, and he's going to translate that well into becoming a leader for the Detroit Red Wings. Then at number 7, we have the Vancouver Canucks, who are also at the end of an era. Both Henrik and Daniel Sedin have retired, and that leaves a couple of big holes on their team, mainly in the form of not having a set of twins. So they'll do the next best thing, and draft Quinn Hughes with the hope of getting brother Jack Hughes the following year. Now, Jack is expected to go number 1 overall in the 2019 draft, so that means the Canucks will have to win a draft lottery. But, spoiler alert, that won't happen. Instead, Quinn will lead the Canucks to the playoffs and help them win the Stanley Cup. Sorry, Canuck fans. Then at number 8, we have the Chicago Blackhawks. Now this is a team that's used to picking much later in the draft as a result of all the success they've had over the years. So they're not used to having to get up this early on draft day. We think they'll end up sleeping in and missing the draft. So the NHL will give their pick to the Vegas Golden Knights, because why not? And the Knights will use it to select Noah Dobson. At number 9, we have the New York Rangers, who will select Oliver Wahlstrom. Did you see what that kid did when he was 9 years old? It's only fitting that he goes at spot number 9. And finally, at number 10, we have the Edmonton Oilers. Now, they didn't do much scouting beyond number 1, since, well, that's what they expected they were going to get. Combine that with the fact that so many players have struggled in Edmonton over the years, we predict that they will go up to the podium and say that they are not making a selection. Now, the current Oilers will see this and use it as a rallying point to get back to the playoffs next year. That concludes our top 10 picks for the 2018 NHL Entry Draft. Back to you, John.
Great stuff as always, John. Well, there you have our predictions for the top 10 picks of the NHL Draft. Now let me send you to John make 20% chance of precipitation for the weather. I've been told he's in the John. Well, let me give you a couple things to do while you wait. This could take a while.